can take this off. This is exciting. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our last seminar of the 2020-2021 year. First of all, before we do anything else, I just want to give you all a big round of applause. Let's just clap. I'm not going to because I'm by the microphone. I cannot begin to say how immensely proud I am of each of you for not only just like getting through this year, but truly like showing up and being engaged, being intentional, being relational with one another and supporting each other through this last year. Because it could have been very easy just to be like, I'm just going to show up, sit in the back of my room and sign into seminar and never engage. But you showed up, you engaged, you did all the things we asked you to do, you did service hours, just 100% showed up the way CLC always does, but just knowing truly how honored I am that I get to work with each and every one of you. Not gonna cry, it's only early. So to honor that, I couldn't do pie because they didn't have pie, but there is cake in the back, just to celebrate and kind of toast in a way with sugar, this amazing year, because you made it amazing when it could have been a lot worse. So truly, truly honored. You all are wonderful. I'm so excited that we get to be in person to kind of end what this year was and excited for what next year has to bring for all of us, even those of you that are leaving us to go do amazing, wonderful things. So with that being said, we have our last round of senior talks for the night, and this will be our last seminar as well. So how we'll do it a little bit differently than we did last couple ones is we have a microphone for kind of those comments, sweet, kind things we all want to say to each other. So we can be heard on the live stream and you don't have to yell. If you can keep your mask on when you do it, that would be awesome. And then just come up to the stage, come up to the microphone and then say your great things and then go sit down. And then if you did take your mask off, we'll have to clean it. But you should be able to be heard with your mask with the microphone. And that way everyone who's watching from home can hear the great things you have to say. And then we'll have a little bit of time at the end to come up and talk about some last minute things and then time just to be together to hang out for a little bit. Sound good? Before you all go do real pie night after the fact. Awesome. Well, I am excited for our first senior talk of the night. I'm going to clean the microphone and welcome Morgan up to the stage.
Okay, adjust the microphone here. All right, I hope everyone's excited for senior talks. I know I definitely am. Woo, thanks Brad, awesome. All right, so while I was planning out my senior talk, I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do for it, and I will explain kind of what I decided here in a second. But after I put it all together, I realized that I wanted a really cool title to just kind of encompass everything about my senior talk. And I went to one of my favorite movies for some inspiration. And in that movie, there's a really inspirational quote that really just stuck with me after I heard that quote. And I just kind of put my own spin on it to make it the title of my senior talk. So therefore, the title of my talk is How I Scienced the Shit Out of My College Career. And for those of you that don't know, this is from the movie The Martian, and it's said by Mark Watney as he's stranded on Mars and he's trying to figure out how to grow his potatoes on Mars. And he says, I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this. And that's just one of my favorite movies. I love that quote, and I just figured I would kind of make a fun title for my talk. So the rest of my talk is set up kind of like a lab report type style. So I went through some hypotheses that I had about my college career, what I thought would happen, then went through my methods section, which for those of you that aren't scientists like myself, are essentially what you do in lab. So whatever procedures you have. So that'll just be each of my 4 years here at UCCS. Then some results, aka lessons that I've learned throughout my time here, and then I'll end off with a short conclusion. So here we go. So for my hypothesis section, I had about 4 hypotheses that I thought would happen when it came to coming to UCCS. The first one was to make tons of new friends. The second one was to get good grades in every class. The third one was to become a forensic chemist. And the fourth one was to use all of my free time to work out, play intramurals, and get involved with clubs. As you might have guessed, only about 2.5 of those have come true, especially not the free time one. That one's not exactly accurate. So the first one for sure has been true. I have made a ton of new friends with all of you guys here, all of my friends with my jobs on campus and my other friends in my chemistry courses. UCCS has brought me so many new friends. So that one, definitely one of the true ones. I have been able to get good grades in all of my classes so far, so let's hope that my last few assignments here in the next few weeks go well, so that trend will stay going up, but we'll see. The third one is not true at all. So when I first came to UCCS, I thought I wanted to do forensic chemistry and then kind of realized that blood was gross. So now I no longer want to do that and want to do environmental chemistry instead. So that's one of them that was not true. And then the last one, of course, is the one that's half true. So haven't really had too much free time, especially being a chemistry major. It's been a lot of homework, but I have been able to spend a lot of time on campus and get involved with things on campus. So I've been very grateful to be able to do that. And the first picture on this slide here on the top is from my interview day. My dad made me go stand out by Clyde and get my picture taken right after my interview day. So that was my first picture with Clyde, and then the bottom one is my first day at UCCS. So now I'm gonna move into my methods section, AKA my freshman year. So freshman year started off with CLC, because that was the first thing that I did here on campus was go to CLC retreat. And actually on CLC interview day, I kind of felt like I didn't know if I was gonna fit into CLC. Because when I got to interview day, everyone was super dressed up. They had all of these super nice suits and everything. And you kind of saw what I was wearing on that previous picture. I had a pair of dress pants that I had borrowed from my mom. Didn't really have too much other dress clothes, and everyone else was all dressed up, and I was not. So didn't really know what to expect coming into CLC, but luckily I was able to meet with my mentor Ruby before retreat, and she kind of reassured me and let me know what to expect from CLC and from retreat that day. And then once I got to retreat, everyone was just super welcoming and super nice. And I also got put into Connor Povick's carpool group that day, which is one of my first memories of UCCS, was walking down to the parking lot in front of the library with Connor and the rest of the people in my car, as Connor was yelling Buddy at his car, because that was his car's name. And then once we got into Buddy, he sped down Austin Bluffs playing the new Kesha album. And then I realized that I would probably fit in here at UCCS, and my stress of CLC was just instantly gone. And then freshman year, of course, was also just filled with getting to know everyone in CLC, especially those of you that were in the same cohort as me. I feel like we've all become really great friends, especially that freshman year, hanging out in the dining hall and things like that. So moving on to sophomore year, this one wasn't quite as exciting. This one consisted of a lot of organic chemistry studying. I have vivid memories of large whiteboards in the library just filled up with a bunch of OChem reactions, ordering mass amounts of pizza, trying to prepare for our tests the next day. But sophomore year was really fun overall. I got to go on a cool spring break trip, so that was definitely a highlight from that year. The top middle picture, you can see that Sarah and I can't take a picture well. There's another one on the next slide as well. Maddie's also in one of those. So that's kind of a common theme on a few of my slides, is I can't take anything seriously. And then junior year, of course, was kind of the weird year where it got messed up with COVID. So the first half was normal, just hanging out with my friends and doing my schoolwork and everything. And then as most of you, or all of us, experienced, the second half of the semester got switched up very quickly with COVID. So that was an interesting dynamic. But definitely a highlight from that year was my internship that I got over the summer. So the bottom right picture there of me standing on the baseball field, that was from my internship. And during fall semester of my junior year, I got this weird idea in my head that I wanted to apply for an internship with NASA. Don't really know why. Maybe I just wanted to be like Mark Watney, but decided that I was just going to apply and just see what happens. I really felt like I had nothing to lose. So I submitted my application, and then come mid-February, I got a call from the NASA Student Airborne Research Program and found out that I got accepted and that I would be flying to California in mid-June to get to work with a ton of students that were my same age, that were also interested in environmental science, environmental chemistry. I was going to get to fly on a cool research plane and take a lot of cool air samples up on the plane. As you might have guessed, that didn't happen because of COVID. I ended up spending a majority of the summer in my parents' basement on my computer. So definitely was not nearly as exciting as California was. The coolest thing I got to do all summer was stand on the pitcher's mound, holding up a tin can to take an air sample in good old Berthoud, Colorado. So like I said, wasn't California, but it was still a great experience, and I got got to meet a lot of cool people and a lot of cool experiences from that. So I'm very glad that I took that chance and just kind of applied for that internship. So now moving into my last method section, my senior year, This year has also been a little weird with COVID. I realized that I did not have nearly as many pictures for this slide as I had for the previous years because we have been online for so long. But this year I've just really been thankful for all of the small moments that I've had with my friends and just really realizing who my good friends are and the importance of having those good friends. That has been definitely a common theme this year. So even if it was just little things like going mini golfing or going hiking, those were definitely some of the highlights of my senior year for sure. So that was the last slide of my methods section. So now I'm going to move into my results. And these are the 4 lessons that I've learned throughout my college career. And these are just 4 things that I felt like were really important to me, but were also really important to share with you guys as well. So the first one is that it's okay to not have a plan. And this was something that I realized through CLC as well. Like I mentioned, I kind of felt like I didn't know if I would fit in, and then kind of realized that I would, but then I still kind of felt this weird thing where I didn't have a plan for what I was doing after graduation. And one really cool thing about CLC is so many of you do have great plans for after graduation, and whether it be like going to med school or law school or going to your dream job, anything like that. And I personally just didn't really know what I was doing, and I always felt this pressure to make this grand plan of what I was going to do after graduation. But as I was going through my college career, I realized that I didn't really need to have a plan, and it was okay to just kind of go with the flow and let things work out as they're going. And I'm kind of have a plan now for after graduation. I'll be here at UCCS again, but still don't have a completely set plan. I kind of know what I'm doing, but not entirely. So I just wanted to share that message with you guys. If any of you are in those same shoes that I was in a few years ago where I didn't know what was going on, I just want to reassure you that it's totally okay to not have a plan and it's all going to work out how it's supposed to. So my next lesson is that sometimes you have to trust your gut. And this lesson goes with many areas of your life, whether it be an answer on a test question, with your relationships in your personal life, or even if it comes to what you're going to do after graduation. So this really applied to me this year at the beginning of my senior year. I was really stressed out about what I was going to do after school. And I originally wanted to go on to a PhD program and get my PhD in chemistry, but I just felt a lot of stress around applying and everything and trying to kind of figure out where I was going to go. And I was fortunate enough to be able to meet with someone that was that worked in the chemistry field, and he was able to kind of encourage me to maybe think about doing a master's before I did my PhD. And at the same time, we had a seminar with a professor. Don't remember what his name was, but I remember I asked him if he recommended that students wait before they go straight to their PhD programs. And without any hesitation, he said, yes, you should definitely wait. And I just felt this feeling in my gut after those 2 experiences that maybe I should wait, and maybe I should just stay here at UCCS and get my master's first and then kind of see where it takes me from there. And as soon as I made that decision to stay here and not worry about those big applications for the PhD programs, I just felt the stress instantly leave my shoulders. So trusting your gut is sometimes a good thing. Obviously, I don't know the outcome of that gut instinct yet, so I'll get back to you guys in 1.5 years, 2 years when I finish my master's and let you know if I think that was a good idea. But as of now, it seems pretty good, so we'll see. My third lesson is to listen to your own advice. And this was one that I realized pretty recently. So I always find myself giving other people advice of just letting things happen and not stressing out about things. But then myself, I personally stress out about everything. So it just kind of made me realize that it's important to also remind yourself of that advice too. Even if you are encouraging other people to relax and just kind of, like I mentioned before, just kind of let things happen as they're supposed to. I personally always stress out about everything. So it's really important to take care of yourself as well and just remember that you are giving yourself good advice in addition to all of your friends. And then my last lesson is to don't forget to take a break and have fun. So again, tying it back into stressing out about everything, I've spent a lot of my time in college worrying about my homework and trying to make sure I got the best grades ever. But it's also very important to make sure that you take a break. So if you feel like maybe watching a Netflix show at the end of the night instead of taking an extra 30 minutes on your homework, watch the show. It's not going to hurt anything. If your friends ask you to go and hang out, go hang out with them. Your homework will still be there for you tomorrow. And it's definitely something that I've had to learn throughout my 4 years here, but just don't forget to have fun, because that's what college is for, as well as doing well in your classes. So got to make sure you find a balance between the two. So that was my last of my lessons of my results section. So I'll just end off with a super quick conclusion, and it's a very simple one. These last 4 years have been amazing. So I just want to thank all of you for being such great friends. And I'm so glad that I've been able to be a part of the CLC program. And now I feel like I'm going to cry, but I just appreciate all of you. And I'm so grateful that I've been able to be a part of this program. So thanks, guys.
Hey, how you doing? Okay. Well, Morgan, you were my very first friend in CLC. I'll never forget meeting you on interview day because I felt the same way. I didn't have a blazer and I was wearing my mom's coat, and you told me something about your pants, and I went, me and this girl are gonna be friends. And then we ended up living with each other for the next 3 years, and I wouldn't have traded any minute of it. Even all the funny jokes and crazy things that are still happening. Anyhow, I will always appreciate you as a human. You have been so kind to me, no matter what. You've been helping me with general chemistry for the last 3 years, which is still kind of crazy because I should be out of it. Anyhow, I really just appreciate all the love you've given me, all the laughs, and just you as a human. You're incredible, and I'm so glad I've had you these last 4 years. Thank you, friend.
Thanks, Maddie.
Oh, Morgan. I don't know if you appreciate it or not, but there was countless times where I would run into you while you were tutoring in the Science Center, and I would tug at your ear a little bit with talking to you about something, and so many of those moments, whether you know it or not, were just full of levity that you would give. Like, you have this quality to, I don't know, it's a calming effect. I don't know how to describe it essentially, but whenever I would talk to you, you would have just this great outlook, this awesome positive attitude, and it seemed like nothing could affect you. And it was awesome, and it was inspirational, and honestly, you provided a little bit of levity in my life when I needed it, when you don't, in some of those moments where you didn't even know what was going on in my life. So I just want to say thank you for all those times that you just, I pulled you away from either tutoring or studying, and I know OChem was a pain in the butt because, both going through it, majors obviously, but I just want to thank you for everything. You're awesome, and you're going to go so far.
Thank you so much, Shane.
Morgan, first of all, can I say I really like the format of your presentation, A+. But looking at all the pictures that you have, it kind of makes me realize that all the fun things, all of the college experience, you've been a part of that. For me, for sure, and I know a lot of other people here. And you are a role model, and I'm proud to call you my friend.
Oh, thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
Hi, Morgan.
Hello.
Okay, for those of you that don't know, I'm from Berthoud too. But Morgan, I've got it grown up knowing you and your siblings, and I've got to seen you in a lot of different roles, from older sister to just star athlete in softball or basketball and all these amazing things, and president of student council, and I'm really grateful to have had these kind of few years just throughout all of them where we've gotten to experience school and everything together. But I hope you know that in every single role I've ever seen you in, you just excel and you do your best, and everyone knows how hard you try, and I want you to know you're going to continue to do that in the future wherever you go. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Morgan. Okay, first of all, I'm so impressed with how you present yourself. I feel like in 10 years, or, we could envision you being up here accepting some sort of award or presenting some scientific discovery. That's how I can see it. But just appreciate the friendship for the last 4 years. I feel like we've gotten to share a lot of highs and lows with each other. I just, like what Brad said, all my memories of college include you, and outside of CLC and in CLC. And so just appreciate your friendship. And can't wait for adult intramural dodgeball leagues.
Yeah.
So everyone's also
We're gonna crush it. Thanks, Rodin. Cool. All right, so next up we got Nathan. I just sprayed everything. I
does this thing work? Okay, perfect. How's everyone doing? Good? Well, welcome to my senior talk, kind of. But we'll get to the kind of part in just a little. But first thing I wanted to do is my parents and brother are watching from home, so everyone look back at the camera and say, hi, family. So for my senior talk tonight, I'm going to teach you 2 of the biggest lessons I learned over the last 4 years. But the first thing I wanted to do is thank you, all of you, for everything. Weird flex, winning team, because we're the best. But I've learned so much from CLC and the program, and I've learned a lot from the seminars and the speakers, but that's textbook leadership, and I've learned a lot of real-world leadership from all of you. I've learned to laugh until you throw up in the dining hall about a random guy named Chris. I've learned never to trust Brad and Aiden because they're really good imposters. I've learned that Juan and Ryan are 42nd Airband legends. I've learned to hug people every chance you get because there might be a time where you can't do it anymore. I've learned that kindness goes farther than everything. And I've learned that you can walk into a room of 40 strangers and in 5 seconds, they'll be your best friends. But anyways, for my 2 lessons, we're gonna do this interactive piece. And so when I ask the question, what is lesson 1? Everyone in unison is gonna repeat what lesson 1 is and then clap. If we don't clap at the same time, we redo it. Does that make sense? Okay. So it's written right there so you guys can read, but here we go. What is lesson number 1? Oh my goodness, that was so good. Okay, well, I don't think anyone actually knows this, but my senior year of high school, I was really scared. I was scared about college. I was scared about moving away. I was scared about living on my own. I was scared about sleeping 5 feet across from a stranger. And so I wrote our current program director an email. And I pretty much said, I quit. CLC was just, it pushed me over the edge and I was too stressed and I quit. So yeah, that was a mistake. Thanks to some great persuasion, I tried CLC on a 1-month free trial, and here I am 4 years later still paying for the subscription. But my first lesson to you is be excited for the unknown, because when you're afraid of the unknown, you might just miss out on one of the best things that could ever happen to you. Okay, lesson number 2. What is lesson number 2? Always be yourself. Always be yourself. It's easy, right? No, not always. As an example, I have redone my senior talk 100 times since last August. And 20 of those came in the last 2 nights. So rest in peace, my GPA. But when you let other people dictate your life, you end up not living. And the only way we can be real is if we are ourselves. This is one of my favorite pictures of all time. We have the Karate Kid, Brad Swag Baker, and the Powerpuff Girls. And in the middle is me with the most genuine smile I think I've ever had. And that's because I stopped caring about what others think. I mean, I still care what others think. Like if someone comes up to me and says, your fly's down, I'm gonna care and I'm gonna fix it. But like when they try to make fun of you and you tend to feel embarrassed, that's when you start to cut that out. And so always be yourself, because when you're not, you might miss out on some stuff and you won't seem real. Pop quiz. What's lesson number 1? Be excited for the unknown. Nice. What's lesson number 2? Always be yourself. What's my middle name? Diana. Terrible. Hint. Wayne. Batman. Wayne. There we go. Thank you. How did Alex know? He wasn't even here this semester for the test. Thank you, Alex. Okay, so you know it. So as I mentioned, I started my senior talk last August. I was inspired by a retreat because it was the first time I got to see people in person, and COVID really put a damper on my life, and so it was great to just see you guys again. So I started writing, and I wrote like 15 pages. It was the most that I literally ever wrote, like more than any college essay, which is really sad because I'm an engineer and I don't write things. But I cut it down, and it came together like a poem. And so I wanted to create a video to kind of show that to you, and this will be the end of my senior talk. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna awkwardly sit up here and watch it too, but yeah, so do we have audio? Yeah? All right, let's do this. wherever your adventure takes you, be excited for the unknown. You once said it a rough more than I thought it could be. I was homesick and lonely, I felt lost at sea. I missed my family, my home, and those I called friends, but I was in CLC, my story had only began. This home away from home was only my journey start. CLC was all silly people who had full hearts. I felt included in a place where I could be me. It's where I learned to lead and how I met P. Lee. I owe it to the scholars in the program that year, and booth the zoo, BJs, and being a volunteer. You once said it out rough more than I thought it could be, but I did something new and realized I was exactly where I should be. Year 2 was just different when I thought it could be. New faces around that I had never seen, but that changed so fast and we were moving like a river. Lee was now our job and we learned to be go-givers. Bonfires and cheering through the parade of lights, juggling bananas and perfect pie nights. But then I was asked to do something crazy, to go up on stage and just talk about me. Being on that stage taught me something new, a skill I never knew I had, and you can do it too. Year 2 was just different when I thought it could be, but the support of CLC taught me to always be me. Wherever your adventure takes you, be excited for the unknown and surround yourself with friends who make you feel not alone. Be brave and kind and courageous and stand up for what is right, but most importantly, love, and always be yourself. Year 3, let's start with the elephant in the room, coronavirus and teachers that still can't use Zoom. The year started out good, I think we can all agree. The office Halloween and a new queen bee. But then I went home and thought it was over like that. We'd be missing senior talks and the chances to chat. But this year had another trick up its sleeve. It felt like I was still here, like I didn't even leave. The year went on and CLC became a light. Seeing everyone was always my highlight. Year 3, let's start with the elephant in the room. But what seemed like a curse soiled the ground for something greater to bloom. Wherever your adventure takes you, be excited for the unknown and surround yourself with friends who make you feel not alone. Be brave and kind and courageous and stand up for what is right, but most importantly, love, and always be yourself. Year 4 was perfect, even with social distance. COVID couldn't stop this family's existence. Seeing everyone in person opened my eyes and showed me how this team was an amazing prize. While COVID still canceled most of the year, it just made our meetups that much more sincere. Kickball, volleyball, and 40-second air bands, pie nights with strangers who want to throw hands. Among Us, food drives, and Boo at the Zoo, all of which are the reasons why I love this crew. Year 4 was perfect, even with social distance. CLC has been a huge part of my life. It wasn't a coincidence. 4 years goes by so fast when you're having fun. I mean, it seems like just yesterday I was a freshman. We thought 4 years couldn't come any quicker. I'm so grateful for everything I've learned, every moment I've got to share with you. CLC has a special place in my heart, and it's something I won't forget.
Is that diet enough for you?
Wherever your adventure takes you, be excited for the unknown and surround yourself with friends who make you feel not alone. Be brave and kind and courageous and stand up for what is right, but most importantly, love, and always be yourself. That's all I got, so thank you guys.
Hey, hi Nathan. So, I'm going to start off with, I'll admit that I am probably not the closest person to you, but I was in a lot of those pictures, and it just kind of made me like think back to like the impact you've had on my life, and probably you are probably one of the most natural, funny people I've ever met in my life. And it, like one of those people where I was like, oh, Nathan's sitting over there, can I go sit at his table? Even though I've never said that out loud in front of anyone, but like, you're just someone that I guess everyone wants to be around, and I hope you always know that. That was one of the most amazing, perfect things I've ever seen in my life.
Thank
I
you.
didn't know you could sing. Like, oh my gosh, my jaw
I
dropped.
tried.
Like, I know you guys couldn't see it, but I was like, the whole time. That was amazing, and I'm so proud of you, and I hope you do huge, huge things in your future.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So I have like a million more things to say to you, but the one thing I really wanted to come up and say to you here is I chronically tell you that you are amazing and that you are worthy of like so much. And I don't know, I feel like we joke about it a lot, but I think this video just encompasses perfectly like your heart and just your genuine care and love for others, and that is not a characteristic we see in this world a lot. And you should really give yourself more credit and move forward in this world knowing how amazing you are.
Thank you, Grace.
Thank you for being an amazing friend.
Nathan, what the heck? That was so good. Oh my gosh, it was like, I can't cry in public. I can't do it. I'm gonna go home and cry now. Thank you. No, but yeah, I definitely admire how transparent you always are. Can you hear me? I'm not very loud.
Mm-hmm.
I admire how transparent you always are. You're always 1000% your authentic self. And I absolutely love how your head is always full of music, just like how mine is. And that much is shown. And I know you could sing. So I was like, oh yes, he's singing. That's what I love to see. And your senior talk was fantastic. I love how you incorporated so many of these wonderful memories that we've all had together. And it's been wonderful to get to spend the last 4 years with you. And like everyone else has said, you're just this exemplar, perfect, optimistic, like example of light and of joy in yourself. And I love getting to know you and to get to be around you and get to experience your authentic self.
Thank you, Emily. Hey, Wonton.
Hello, Nathan. I was sitting at the table and I was like, our voice is spitting fire right here. Holy. I was just super happy about that. You know, just really brief. When I joined CLC, I was like freaking out because I was surrounded with these amazing people. It was so scary, but you made me feel welcome. You probably didn't know this. So I just wanted to thank you. And of course, like, I mean, you're just a wonderful person. Nothing new. And friend, keep the music going.
Thanks. Thank you.
was a
That's
pleasure
after
to meet
one guitar lesson with Juan. I just want you guys to know. I asked him some questions last semester, and he had no clue this is what it was for. So thank you, Juan.
Well, you almost put a knot in my throat with that song. Man, you've been in so many like good moments. Like I remember when I was a freshman, I volunteered like the ethics competition. I go there like at 7 a.m. and the only other person there is you, and we're just having breakfast together.
Yep.
You know, we were like roommates at retreat my sophomore year. Thank you for not, you know, shutting the AC off because like it was so good. Like the room was like so cold, and we all slept really good, didn't we? Because Lenny was freezing that day, but it's fine. Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy you liked Among Us. You like mentioned like I don't even know how many times, and I'm just honored that you liked it so much. And yeah, I mean, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Care Bear.
All right, Nathan, I have high expectations for your senior talk, and you blew them all out of the water. It was phenomenal.
Thank you.
But I know, like, to anyone just like comes to UCCS lead, Oh, Nathan, that's the juggling banana.
Yeah.
But anyone who gets to know you more gets to see a lot more of your appeal.
Stop. Stop. No. No. No.
You really are like a champion of ethics, for sure. Certifiably, you have the trophy to prove it.
True. True.
You're like always on top of like putting together the most fun volunteering events, and you're at every social activity. And if that's not a leader, I don't know what is.
Thank you, brother.
I'm gonna split.
Stop. No. No more. Fired.
They made this for really tall people. So I don't know. You can hear me, but
Yep.
10 out of 10, best mentor ever. We didn't get a chance to meet before the first event that we had, so I remember I showed up and I was asking people, I was like, okay, so who's Nathan? Like, I don't even know what he looks like, but everyone was like, oh, Nathan, like, kept pointing, and you were like the life of the party, like, and I was like, this is great, because like, I'm a super outgoing person, so I just definitely look up to you about how like, you always are the life of the party. Everyone summed it up really well, so I hope that I can continue to do that. And another thing I loved about you being my mentor is you were like so authentic of like, I would bring questions to you and you were like straight up like, I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, like, but you always pointed me like in the right direction and made sure I found like help with classes and stuff like that. So I just want to thank you for being a great mentor.
Thanks for being a great mentee.
Yeah. And remember, I don't like candy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I bought her candy, and she didn't eat any. So that was a great first day.
He felt so bad.
Great mentor right here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything too.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make you cry more. Okay, so I just wanted to say that I know that you were very stressed out about your senior talk and you were very worried about what to do. But what you decided to do really, I just felt like encompassed you as a person so well. And I'm so proud of you for making that video because I remember freshman year, we were randomly like hanging out in I don't even remember where we were on campus, and we were talking about singing, and you like would refuse to sing because you didn't have confidence in yourself to do it. And then here you are singing to everyone in CLC, and I just want to thank you for being such a great part of my college experience, even if my first memory of you was driving you to Dick's Sporting Goods because you lied and said you didn't have a car.
Don't even. Be wonderful, Sarah Kamash. Round of applause.
Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna follow that up, so maybe we can just reschedule my talk. Thank you, Nathan. Okay, well, first, my family is watching, and so is Ashlyn, for those of you who remember, so you can wave hi to everyone. Okay, so today my senior talk is about the hardest times in my life that ended up teaching me the most. They absolutely sucked in the moment, but as I reflected and put together my senior talk, I saw that they were honestly some of the best lessons I could have learned. So one thing I learned is that we are continuously learning and growing from a young age. So that picture on my right was me when my parents promised me that full day school was the best thing ever. Obviously, I was not convinced and I was not happy. My mom ended up having to stay in the parking lot because I would cry, and my preschool teachers were not happy about that. So she'd have to stay in the parking lot just in case I cried. By the end of preschool, when I graduated, which was one of my best accomplishments, but I had learned that preschool was not as bad as it seemed. It was not fun at the beginning, but I learned to like it. On a more serious note, these are 4 lessons that I have learned in the last 4 years that have absolutely changed my life. So the first is, the day before I started my undergraduate, my dad had open heart surgery. And that was really hard for me because my dad is someone who I look up to, and he is
the one that keeps me level when I'm freaking out. And it was hard to see him in that position of having heart surgery, being in pain. It was really hard to navigate college as is, let alone having my dad have surgery the day before. Shortly after, about 4 months later, my youngest sister was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And that was honestly one of the worst days of my life. We had just celebrated our birthday, and 2 days later, we were getting this life-changing news that absolutely broke me because I felt there was nothing I could do for my baby sister. And she doesn't look like she's a baby, but she is. And then about a year after that, Hadil was also diagnosed with MS. And it felt like we were starting over with this journey. We had just kind of started to get back up and get back to normal. And then Hadil was diagnosed with MS too. And again, it was that same idea of being her older sister. There was nothing I could do to change what was happening. And that was really hard for me. And then finally, about a month ago, I started questioning everything I had done up until this point. I was wondering if I had started the right major back 4 years ago, and it was far too late to go to my advisor and tell her that I was going to change majors. And I started questioning who I was as a person, and I didn't think I was good enough. And that was very hard for me, especially because it was happening a month and a half before graduation, and there was nothing I could do about it. I could not change majors. I thought about it. It didn't work. But these four years were really hard for me at some points. But I ended up getting through it because of, first of all, my family. So my mother is my best friend. I love her to death. I am a carbon copy of her, so she can never get mad at me because I just say that I am her. She can't get mad at me. It works every time. She lets me go to her and just cry and cry and cry until I have no tears left. And she always is willing to talk to me and remind me of who I am and what I stand for. My dad is also my best friend, he keeps me level-headed. When I am losing my mind, he is the one I go to. When I am struggling, he is the one I go to. When I'm questioning myself, he is the one I go to. He always reminds me where I started, why I started something, and he reminds me of just how good at things I am, even though I feel in the moment that I'm not. And he has just helped me through so much. And then Hadil is my partner in crime. We have been causing trouble since 2001, when we could both walk and spray Windex on hardwood floors. My mom was also not happy about that, so Hadil has taught me perseverance. She was going through so much right before finals and still managed to finish with amazing grades. And she was diagnosed during dead week and was in the hospital and was having tests and all that stuff done. And Hadil never quits. And she has taught me to never quit. And finally is Rama, my youngest sister, who is my twin. Her and I have the same birthday, and she gives me hope for the future. She constantly reminds me of how amazing I can be, and she never fails to make me laugh, which she will never let that go now that she's heard it, but she is quite a funny middle schooler, probably the only funny middle schooler I know. So my friends also help me get through these hard times. Ashlyn is up in that top right corner. Ashlyn is one of my best friends. I remember when Rama was diagnosed with MS, she let me cry in her car for 20 minutes right before seminar. She was always somebody I could go to talk and to just vent. And I will never forget, she spent the whole day with us when Hadil was diagnosed. And her friendship means the world to me because I know I would not have gotten through those 2 years without Ashlyn's help. Morgan is also someone I chose to put the picture where we actually got it together. But I had a million of them when we were not having it together. But Morgan has been there for me through so much. I complain so much to Morgan. Anytime I have to complain, I text Morgan. She is truly one of my best friends, and I would not have survived, especially this last year, without Morgan's support. Nathan is somebody who is always just one call away, and he will always talk to me or text me, be there when I need someone to cry to or vent to, whatever it is, he is always there for me, and that means the world to me. And finally, it's the laughter in the libraries and the little things that have helped me get through this. You saw the video with Nathan. I remember Nathan and I met on interview day, and we laughed the entire time, did not take it very seriously, and we both thought we weren't going to get into CLC. Honestly, laughter is the best medicine, and I know that Nathan is always there whenever I need someone to say a joke or dance before a picture because we don't know how to take pictures, but I know that if I ever need a good laugh, I can always go to Nathan. Emily and Trey, I don't have a picture with Trey because of COVID, but Emily, Trey, and I, sorry, Trey, we have the best office staff meetings, even though we really get little work in and we mainly talk about the Kardashians and which documentaries to watch because that's just what we did. I could be having an awful day and we'd hop on our little office staff meeting and it would just be filled with laughter and I would instantly feel better after. And I cannot thank you enough for that. In that top left, Rylan knows what this is. Rylan and I scheduled, my sophomore year, we scheduled an hour and a half in the library on Tuesdays to do nothing. We would sit in the library with our books and computers and assignments and everything open and nothing would get done, except we would be pretending to pose like Alex. And then we crop my face onto all of them because we sent Alex that Snapchat. And honestly, that is one of the highlights of sophomore year was doing nothing with Rylan in the library. It became a ritual. We did it every week for the entire year. And people probably hated us because we just laughed the whole time in the library. And then it's the little things in life that they build up. I'll never forget the time Emma came in to the CLC office and we talked about how amazing Taylor Swift is and how she's not written a bad song. And that's all we talked about, and that made my day. I was having a rough week, and that made my day. It's the little things in life that add up, and suddenly things aren't so bad. So I have 5 takeaways from these last 4 years that when I was going through hardship, as I reflected, this is what I learned. So without hardship, life would be boring. You would not learn from mistakes. You would not get lost. You would not feel certain feelings in the moment that, looking back, taught me some of the best lessons. I also found that you find your true self when you are going through your hardships. This is, to me, the third one is one of the most important ones, and it's you need to surround yourself with people who will lift you up, and they're going to remind you how amazing you are, even if you don't feel amazing. Surrounding yourself with those people who will always be there for you, always be in your corner, and they won't be afraid to call you out when you do wrong, but they'll also be there to celebrate with you. The fourth lesson is to give yourself grace. I don't think there's anything more graceful to yourself than doing nothing. So find yourself a Rylan and schedule time to do nothing and just laugh. And the last one is it's okay if you're not always okay. You don't always have to be feeling the best and having it all together and feeling like everything is okay. It's okay if that's not the case. Sometimes you just need to let yourself get lost, feel those things, and then find your true self. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of you. You guys have truly changed my life. These last 4 years in CLC have been some of the best 4 years in my life. You have all impacted me and inspired me in ways that I cannot thank you enough for. Thank you.
So everyone knows this, but we're sisters. But I am just so blessed because I get to see every aspect of Sarah. I get to see the
professional student leader of the year, and I also get to see the watching Disney Plus at 1 a.m. and she is the most dependable person I know. And for those of you who don't know, in our family, 9 times out of 10, when something goes wrong at the root, I'm probably the reason. So she has never had a time where she's not been there for me, even though I deserve to get my rear on a platter. She's just the most dependable person I know, and I know that you're gonna do amazing things, and you're gonna leave me in the house alone with the rest of our family, but I love you, and I know you're gonna do amazing things.
Thank you. She gets in trouble a lot. I don't know why.
Hi.
Hello.
I realized when I was getting ready this morning, wow, I'm not doing okay. When I was getting ready this evening, that you were having your senior talk tonight, and I was like, oh, maybe if I don't go, she won't graduate. So I'm really sad that you're leaving. I love your whole entire family. Like, I have something good to say. Well, I've never met your dad, but I'm sure he's great because he made you. But I love, like, your family's like top tier. All of you guys are hilarious. Rama is like, she 13? I like hung out with her for a bit at the zoo. She's 14. Yeah. I thought she was older than me. Like, she's amazing and hilarious. And just like your character is so wonderful. And I've never like seen you and not smiled. So I'm really gonna miss that. And you really just made like CLC feel so welcoming to me. And I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you. I'm gonna miss you, so you better come back and visit.
I will. I'll come back and visit you. Okay.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Rylan.
I just want you to know, I think you're so beautiful, both like inside and out. Every time I see you, I'm like, oh, she's so cute. Like literally walking upstairs, I'm like, oh my god, I love her so much. But just seeing your presentation, you're just so vulnerable all the time. And hearing everything that you are going through when, those library days, like, I was going through so much in that time, and you were just, like, the light of my life. Like, I was, like, Tuesdays, like, if I just make it through the rest of the week, I know I get to Tuesday, and I can just, like, spend time with Sarah, and that will get me through the rest of the week. So I just am so thankful for you, and I am going to miss you so much, and I love you so much.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, God.
Sarah, I'm gonna miss you so much. You have literally taught me since day 2 when you taught me the importance of following stop signs.
Oh, God.
For those of you who don't know, I was in Sarah's carpool, and when we're leaving Glen Erie, she read the stop sign that said, incoming traffic doesn't stop. She wondered what it meant, and then proceeded to hit the brake really hard because she realized she was at a stop sign. Brad's leadership bunch and Sloan's leadership squad were born out of that carpool, so it was fun. But no, you're one of the most giving people I know, and you're just like so kind. I'm gonna miss carrying you all the time.
I'm not gonna miss that. That's the one thing I
probably, but yeah.
Is being scared.
Yeah, I know. I'm almost choking, and it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
With like a grape. But yeah, thank you for such a kind talk, and thank you for everything these years.
Thank you. I'm gonna miss you.
Hello, beautiful Sarah. You're amazing. So getting back into the scaring, we team up to scare Carol, so that has been the highlight of my days every time. And we actually got him one time, so that was great. But I just wanted to say, I think you're amazing. I am so happy that I got to meet you along with everybody else as well, but you're the sweetest, most amazing, caring person. And I, through your presentation, I really look up to you and your relationship with your sister. I also, like, you remind me of Ruby, of course, but it was so sweet, and I really, I'm going to miss you a lot. You're the sweetest. Like, I always laugh with you at the same, like, Nathan, everybody else, but, like, we're going to miss you a lot. So you're the bestest.
Thank you so much. Oh my God.
Hey.
Hi, friend.
I'm having like palpitations.
It's okay, me too.
Are you certified in CPR? But I just wanted to tell you, I love you so much. You are literally a ball of sunshine. You are everything light and happy and amoeba related in the world. And like you said on your slides, we literally laugh at everything. Like, there would be times when we'd be in the science center and we'd be talking too loud, so we got asked to leave because we were having so much fun and we were annoying everybody else in there. Or the library, like, we're really annoying, but it's awesome. And I just wanted to say I'll never, ever, ever forget the kindness that you have shown me, that your family has shown me. I seriously couldn't have gotten through college without you, and I love you so much. And if I literally, like, if I needed a place to stay, if I needed just a hug, if I needed a meal, if I needed to laugh at some dumb thing somewhere, like, you and your family would always be there for me. Even though you're like, who is this person? She's probably gonna fail.
You're my adopted
chemistry.
sister.
Yeah, we always say that. And I'll never forget the kindness you all have shown me. I love all of you so much, and you can't leave, sorry. Like, I guess we can't work in the GI lab together. That's probably for the better.
We'll do our colonoscopies together.
Yeah, for the rest of our
I feel
lives.
bad for all the patients. It'll be good.
I can't think of anyone better to do that. But I'm so proud of you, and again, I really hope that one day we will get to work together. Well, probably not, because then we won't get anything done, and we'll get fired. Sloan's probably caught on to us talking so much, and that's why she's like, you guys can't work together, so.
I knew she scheduled us on different days for a reason.
She's like, you guys
never.
You cannot be trusted. Sorry, Trey. I love you.
I love you too, Em.
Hi, mentor.
Hi, mentee.
Well, I have a million different things, lovely, lovely things that I could say about you, but I'm not going to because I actually will cry, and I'm not an emotional person in public. But I seriously appreciate every single thing you've done for me and helped me along. Even though you are like a super, super bubbly and happy person, the one memory that I just can't like shake is when we were in nutrition and that guy just kept interrupting class and we just were like, oh my gosh, like we were just like, we were being kind of snarky, but I just can't shake that, is that I have classes with you and like can't thank you enough for everything that like you've taught me and have you being there for me to help me finish last minute papers. But I love you and thank you.
Thank you so much.
Like she said, Taylor Swift has never written a bad song, and if you can give me proof that she has, I won't believe you. Sarah, you've been one of my saving graces this semester, just being able to go to you anytime I need it. Like everyone says, you're just bubbly and amazing, but you also just are the kindest person that I've ever met. And I'm gonna miss you so much next year. You might end up with texts like middle of the day just randomly of me having a crisis. But I just am gonna miss you so much and you can't leave.
I'm gonna miss you too, Emma.
Okay, I'm gonna make it short like I did with Nathan, because otherwise I'm gonna cry. But Sarah, you just have been such a great friend to me throughout these 4 years, and like your presentation really reflected that with the importance of laughter. You always make me laugh, like without a doubt. The number of times, like Emily said, almost getting kicked out of the Science Center, I literally thought I wasn't gonna get hired at the Science Center because we were too loud. So I just really appreciate all of those moments, and I can say the same exact thing for you, that I would not have made it through this year without you. I appreciate all the advice and support that you've given me, and you've dealt with so much of my complaining and everything, and you've also dealt with me sending you TikToks at like 1 a.m. So thank you for being such a great friend, and I'm gonna miss you a lot.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna hand it over to Sloan now. Sarah a round of applause. Also, I don't want to follow any of those senior talks. So one thing I want to say before we wrap up, to do one more kind of leadership moment celebration, since Sarah just finished her talk, Sarah won an award last night as the UCCS Promising Alumni Award. So can we give Sarah a big round of applause? One other thing I want to acknowledge in that too, as we're talking about awards, because it's coming up in a few weeks, is you may not know this, but our own wonderful Gwen is going to be our commencement speaker for winning the Student Achievement Award. So one, you should watch graduation because it's important to celebrate everyone, but definitely watch it because I cannot wait to see Gwen's speech when it's going to be. So we're so excited, we're so proud. Cannot wait to laugh and cry and be all the wonderful things. So it's gonna be wonderful.
And I can say all that because it's already been recorded, so there's no pressure. It's gonna be wonderful. Well, as we wrap up and as we end tonight and this year, truly, truly, truly so beyond proud of each of you. It's been an honor. I'm not gonna cry because I'm gonna see all the seniors next week. But we're gonna be around for a little bit to love on each other, like hug with mask on. I didn't say that on the live stream. But just be together, spend time together, and know that we're always CLC family. And then just kind of a couple kind of housekeeping things. CLC seniors, I'll see you next Friday for our breakfast here in Burger, so we can just celebrate you more, cry more, celebrate more, eat good food, and just have a really good time together. If you haven't RSVP'd for that, please do. I think I've heard from most of you. And then I'm excited to meet your guest. I'm excited that we get to bring some people to celebrate along with you. For my returning CLC scholars, I will be sending an email to all of you after finals. Just take the next couple weeks to get through the semester, rest, care for yourself, and then we'll talk about fall. So don't worry, you're gonna get all the dates, all the details. I just wanna give you time to focus in the next couple weeks. But if you need the stuff ahead of time, you can always reach out. I'm happy to give you all the dates if you're already starting to make those plans. But it is an honor to know each and every one of you. So proud of you. I'm gonna stop talking now, eat cake, spend time together, and we will see you all next fall. Good night, everyone.